you don't mind me asking just a few questions about just kind of about the history of these shelters and just kind of what the cultural significance is to.
So these, in the time of horse and carriage,
Yes.
the taxi driver. In fact, I've got a photo of one of them. If you have a look inside, you'll see the horse and carriage where the taxi driver actually sat on the outside. So he had a cabin for the passengers, and he used to sit on the outside. So they used to freeze, really cold. In the olden days, London was much colder than it is now. So you can imagine some people actually froze to death. Some taxi drivers actually froze to death. That's how cold it was. So they used to go to the local houses in those times where there was like beers and drinking. There was no drink driving laws. So they used to sit in there where it was nice and warm, pay a child to look after their horse and carriage, and get drunk. So every time one of these noblemen would look for a cab, they couldn't find a cab driver, and they would eventually find him in the pub, should we say, and he would be drunk. And one of the guys realised, he said, well, I can't have this here. Every time drunken cab drivers coming up, he decided to build these shelters around London. So there's no alcohol allowed to be served, and it was a place where they could have a hot drink and a meal. There used to be 64 of these buildings. After the Second World War and all that, a lot of them got destroyed, moved away. So there's only 13, lucky 13 of these buildings left in London. But they're more than just a cafe, they're like a little centre hub for socialising. You see all the different characters. Do you want some food?
Ready?
I haven't made you anything yet.
Food.
Soup. I said what you
I
want.
went and came back. You said food.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to come back.
I did.
It's beyond the window. You'll put it.
Oh, you did?
To this day, only cab drivers are allowed inside, but anyone can come to the window.
So how long have you been working at one of these stands? Or this one?
This is my one. I can't own it, but it's my business, and that's been over 15 years.
So how did you get into the business of working at the Cabmen shelters?
Well, a long time ago, because my mum knew a lot of. She used to run a restaurant in Knightsbridge. Well, most of the customers were cab drivers, and she was made redundant. And then the cab driver said, "Well, there's one of these available." So come out and we had a look. And if you look at the CSF, see, it's called the Cabman Shelter Fund.
Oh,
see?
yes.
You wouldn't recognise, you wouldn't see it, but there's like little details like that. So it's run by the Cabman Shelter Fund, which is like a charity which maintains these buildings. They're Grade 2 listings.
So I know there is a union that is kind of with the Cabmen shelters.
Yeah.
Are you able to speak on that a little bit, or how that kind of operates and how all these shelters kind of are almost one?
Because they're so unique, they're under a special charity, and they're just basically, the Cabman Shelter Fund is the one that maintains them. If anything gets damaged, they fix it straight away. And it's as unique to London as the Black Cab, you know what I mean? It's Red Box. So it's just one of these, but hardly anyone knows about it. There you go.
Now, Debbie, how many people do you serve roughly a day?
It can depend. We can have 50, we could have 150. It all depends. If we've got builders, then we get more.
Oh, amazing.
We've got builders at the moment.
Now, Debbie, do you know anything about the history of these Cabmen shacks?
I know that there is only 11 left in London. There's
Only 11 left in London?
11 working left, yeah.
Do you know how long that these shacks have been open? Or?
This one came from Leicester Square. As far as I know, they started in the late 1800s.
So now, do you mainly serve taxi drivers or cabbies? Or?
Inside, only taxi drivers were allowed to cook for inside, everyone else outside. They've just got a little bench to sit on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so all the prices they're pretty inexpensive, correct,
Yeah.
compared to other stores and
Yes.
restaurants. Do you say that's specifically tailored towards the cabbies and the construction workers?
It's for everyone. Yeah, the same prices is for everyone. We charge the cab drivers the same as we charge the public.
Amazing.
Do you have
Well-
a lot of regulars?
Lots of regulars.
Great.
Amazing.